everyone, welcome to today's class where we are going to see and understand deeply into an important topic that has shaped how businesses approach the bottom of the pyramid markets. In this session, we will explain the concept of dominant logic. Dominant logic is a term coined by renowned business scholar Dr. C.K. Prahalad and Dr. Stuart Hart, and its critical inference for businesses which are looking to engage with world's underserved population. In their influential book, The Fortune at the Bottom of the Pyramid, Prahalad and Hart explore how the world's largest and most influential businesses can look beyond traditional markets and instead turn their attention to the 4 billion people living at the base of the economic pyramid. These markets are often overlooked by mainstream business practices, which assume that the poor are not capable of being profitable consumers. But the authors also argue that this perspective, driven by dominant logic, is limiting business opportunities and also hinders social progress. Today, we will examine what dominant logic is, how it has historically shaped business practices, and why companies need to shift this logic when working with BOP markets. We will also explore the practical implications of this shift for businesses and how they can adopt more inclusive and sustainable strategies that will lead to mutual benefit for market as well as businesses. So let's start by answering the question, what is dominant logic? Let's start by defining the word dominant logic. In business terms, dominant logic refers to the set of deeply ingrained assumptions, beliefs and practices that guide how a company views the market and operates within it. It shapes the way organizations interpret the world around them, make decisions and engage with their customers. For instance, in large corporations, the dominant logic might be that customers are best served by offering mass market products, emphasizing economies of scale and focusing on premium customers. This logic assumes that consumers in wealthier countries drive business growth and that profit maximization should be the primary business goal. For years, this logic has been effective in developed market but does not hold when it is applied to BOP consumers whose needs, purchasing power and priorities are different than the developed countries. Dominant logic is not just a set of practices, it's a framework that influences business decisions at every level. It dictates how companies design their products, structure their pricing models, market their services, and even interact with employees and customers. The assumptions within this logic guide product development, customer outreach, and market positioning, which can either help or hinder success depending on the context in which it is applied. In the case of BOP market, traditional dominant logic often overlooks the poor as a viable consumer base. It assumes that poverty equates to lack of purchasing power or ability to consume, thereby reinforcing the stereotype that the poor are unprofitable segment. This creates a significant barrier to entry for companies who are willing to cater to this BOP market. So now let's see what are dominant logic and what are its impact on BOP markets. When we talk about the BOP, we refer to those living on less than $2 a day. According to Dr. C.K. Prahlad and Dr. Hart, this group represents not just a market to serve, but an untapped opportunity for innovation and economic development. However, the dominant logic that businesses operates under often inhibits the recognition of this opportunity. For example, consider the traditional business mindset that focuses on high value customers and large scale standardized solution. This logic has led businesses to create premium products and services which are designed for affluent consumers. This works well in wealthier countries where consumers' purchasing power is very high. But this same approach totally fails in BOP markets where affordability and local relevance are paramount. Moreover, businesses often fail to see BOP consumers as capable of being value driven customers. The poor are typically treated as recipient of charity, not as active participants in the market who have their own needs and desires that are similar to any other customer segment. However, this perception of poverty as a problem to be solved rather than an opportunity to engage economically leads to missed opportunities for growth as well as innovation. Dr. C.K. Prahlad and Dr. Hart highlights this issue by noting that businesses that have successfully entered the BOP market have done so by innovating in ways that aligns with the needs and constraint of the poor customers. These companies recognize that the poor are often entrepreneurial, adaptable, and capable of generating value when given the right tools and right set of opportunities for that. Let's see the historical and political context of dominant logic. The persistence of traditional dominant logic also has deep historical roots. For instance, in post-colonial societies, there was a strong belief in the role of the state and non-profits in addressing poverty. The private sector was often viewed with suspicion, especially in places where colonial legacies left a mistrust of big corporations. This political dominant logic led to policies and frameworks that discouraged private sector involvement in poverty alleviation, with government and NGOs taking the lead instead of private organization. In many developing countries, the assumption was that businesses should focus on wealthier markets and leave the poor to be helped by charity organizations. This political logic led to a disconnect between the private sector and the BOP, which created a barrier to entry for businesses which want to engage with these markets. The traditional logic that emerged from this was not just about consumer perception. It was also about how governments regulated markets. In countries like India, for instance, there was a long history of policies that did not encourage private sector solutions for poverty, but rather focused on all state run solutions or government run solutions or international charity programs. In the eyes of many, private companies were seen as profit driven entities that would always exploit the poor rather than serving them. Now let's see how this dominant logic now shifting. So let's see shifting of the dominant logic. New opportunities for BOP engagement for businesses to succeed in BOP markets, they must challenge and change their dominant logic. This shift is about more than just changing a few assumptions. It involves a complete rethinking of business strategy and operations. First, rethinking the value proposition. Rather than seeing BOP markets as a burden or a charity case, businesses must see this market as untapped opportunities for growth. This requires a mindset shift where businesses recognize the value of offering affordable, relevant products and services designed specifically for BOP consumers. These consumers have different needs and the solutions must be tailored to meet those different needs. For example, low-cost mobile phones like those from Micromax and Nokia were designed to offer value at a low price point while also maintaining durability and functionality that consumers of BOP market needed. Second, redefining business models for BOP. To effectively cater to BOP market, businesses must develop business models that focus on inclusive innovation. This means creating products that meet the needs of low-income consumer while remaining financially sustainable for the company. Companies such as Grameen Phone in Bangladesh and Hindustan Unilever in India have adopted innovative model that engage local entrepreneurs and community-based distributors to make their products accessible to the poor and BOP market. Moreover, companies must be willing to work in partnership with local stakeholders like governments, NGOs and local businesses to ensure that products are distributed and are also accessible for the market. We all have taken multiple times the example of Shakti, which is an initiative of HUL, which recruited women as micro entrepreneurs to distribute low cost health and hygiene products to underserved markets and underserved communities, creating new opportunities for local women while also opening up a profitable market for the company. Third important point is sustainable pricing strategies. A major consideration when working with BOP consumer is always pricing. The traditional business logic may suggest that pricing premium product at higher margins, but this model doesn't work in BOP markets where affordability is a key. The price point must be affordable for BOP consumers while still allowing the businesses to make profit for them. In some cases, this means companies have to rethink their cost structure, reduce their product complexity and focus on delivering essential features at lower cost. The success of Nescafe's sachet and Tata Nano's car are illustrative how affordable innovations can capture the BOP market. The fourth, inclusive growth and the impact. One of the core principles of shifting the dominant logic is focusing on inclusive growth. Engaging with BOP market is not just about extracting profit from them, but it is about creating shared value that benefits both the company as well as community. Businesses that succeed in BOP market tend to focus on long-term relationships with local communities, prioritizing sustainable development and working on solutions that can improve livelihood of BOP consumer. Let's see one case study on dominant logic shift. Several companies around the world have embraced new dominant logic to engage with BOP. One standout example is Cemex, a Mexican cement company that revolutionized the housing market by offering low-cost building material to poor communities. By focusing on affordable housing, Cemex didn't just sell products, it enabled people to build homes and improve their living conditions, creating long-term customer loyalty and social impact for themselves. Another good example can be Bencosol, a Bolivian microfinance institution that shifted its approach from charity to providing credit and financial services to low-income entrepreneurs. Bencosol's model focused on providing loans to individuals who would otherwise be excluded from traditional banking systems. This allowed entrepreneurs to create and expand their small businesses. So, to conclude, understanding and shifting dominant logic is crucial for companies aiming to succeed in BOP markets. By moving away from traditional assumptions and embracing a new mindset, businesses can unlock the potential of these underserved markets, creating both social impact and profitable growth. As Dr. C.K. Prahlad and Dr. Hart have shown, the poor are not just consumers. They are innovators, entrepreneurs and active participants in the market economy. By embracing these new realities, company can drive the next wave of global business success. So that's all for today's session. Thank you for joining. In our next lesson, we will try to further explore some successful business model of BOP. Thank you.